Ah, mushrooms. They're a fleshy fungus that sometimes grows out of manure. Delicious. Now, you may have heard of magic mushrooms. Rain here is a bit of an expert. He says they can get you so high you'll see the face of God, which apparently looks like Kamal. Now, don't worry, this is just a normal mushroom. Isn't that right, Rain? Uh-oh. Now, you might think magic mushrooms are just for people who go to folk music festivals. Well, allow me to expand your consciousness, man.
The federal government is set to back clinical trials of psychedelic drugs. $15 million in government grants will go towards research into using substances such as magic mushrooms as a way to treat some mental illnesses.
Yep, the government is spending $15 million on psychedelic drugs. That's going to be one hell of a midwinter ball. And this new push is coming from a very unlikely place.
Andrew Robb is a former trade minister and one-time director of the Liberal Party. He took a range of antidepressants for more than a decade until the combination no longer worked.
So then I went back into the trial and error again. In the course of that, I heard about the psychedelics.
Andrew Robb belongs to a charity called Mind Medicine that wants the TGA to allow psychedelic therapy in Australia.
The results are spectacular. They're getting up to 60 to 80% remission. This is not relief. This is remission.
A former director of the Liberal Party wants to relax drug laws. I don't know what's real anymore.
Oh, hello, Charlie. You want me to sing the elephant song for you?
Seriously, I don't know what's real anymore.
Tell me, sir, the elephant. Tell me, brothers, if you can.
Studies suggest psilocybin, the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, can help treat anxiety and depression. LSD, or acid as the kids call it, and by kids I mean boomers, might be useful treating alcoholism and addiction. And MDMA, or ecstasy, could be used to treat PTSD. In fact, even the former Chief of Defence, also a member of Mind Medicine Australia, is in favour of it.
Professor Jim Lagopoulos at the Sunshine Coast Neuroscience and Mind at Thomson Institute, he is the one who said to me, without psychedelics, we have no potential cure for post-traumatic stress disorder. I think it's breathtakingly important to think about this in terms of better family life, better wellness at work, better productivity, better people, to be honest.
But if the man inside this little box says psychedelics are so helpful, why are we only trialling them now?
Tell them the story, Charlie.
Oh, drag, man, I'm a square. Anyway, naturally occurring psychedelics have been used in Indigenous cultures for centuries. In 1938, a Swiss chemist invented a synthetic psychedelic called LSD. A few years later, he took the first dose and rode his bike home, which probably looked like this. Subsequent government-backed experiments yielded some fascinating results. Found that they made cats really afraid of mice, soldiers really bad at marching, and couldn't get dolphins to communicate with humans.
Hello?
Not even close. LSD also showed promise treating an array of mental health conditions. Unfortunately, at the same time, the counterculture got a hold of it, and someone had to step in.
America's public enemy #1 in the United States is drug abuse.
And so Australia did what Australia does best and followed the US into a war on drugs.
War? Huh. Yeah. What is it good for?
Stopping medical research. War. Which is why it took until 2019 to run an Australian trial on the medicinal benefits of psychedelics.
The trial at St Vincent's Hospital in Melbourne will use a drug known as psilocybin to ease the mental anguish of the terminally ill.
It allows them to have a heightened awareness of their situation, to allow them to feel relaxed.
Almost half of all adults in Australia will suffer mental illness in their lifetime. So out of Rain and I, one of us is probably going to need professional help. It's going to be me, isn't it? In February, the TGA acknowledged promising results, but said further research was required before it could take psilocybin off the prohibited list and make it available for therapeutic use. And while all drugs carry some risk, at least we're now trialling drugs that could help millions of Aussies. And anything that can unite a former Liberal Party director, a former head of defence, Rain, me, and Kamal.
You ate the wrong mushroom.
Did I?